2023, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. No excuses, just free picks. We just keep showing up. No one asks us to keep coming back. We just do it. Just kind of just don't go away. It happens. Chris, ready to set the tone today. And, and just like that, we have a game 4. Well, I guess we would have had game 4 anyway in the NHL. I thought that the Panthers' goal against Vegas was about as easy as it gets. I don't know. You tell me. I'm not a hockey expert, except when I claim to be. But I've seen, great goals, where they just do whatever. I mean, this just seemed like a basic, he took a shot, it went in the net, I don't know. It just didn't seem like it was that great of a goal. It just seemed like it was a good goal. It was it was a solid shot, right? It was a solid hockey play. But at this level, you would think that would be a save. I mean, what was he, screened? I mean, I'm not really sure. What was that? You think you just let it go and just said, I got a Cuban sandwich waiting for me, at the hotel. I got to go. It's gonna get cold. It's pork, it's cheese, it's ham, it's mustard, it's everything. Pickles. It's pressed. It's pressed, but it's not a panini. It's on that Cuban bread that everybody loves so much.
I don't know about that, but I probably would have expected a bit of a better goal to end the game. But I mean, the goal that sent it to overtime was a wide open net, and that overtime winner was just a break. It's just a break going the other way. Those goals happen, unfortunately, and like I said, just a great shot from Verhaeghe, and now we're heading. We got at least a game 5 on the horizon.
How about this Tkachuk, superstar, budding superstar, underrated? What do we say?
I think he's a budding superstar. I'm not putting him at that level just yet. I know he was one of the top 3 for the Hart Trophy for the MVP, but I don't see him there yet. He's going to be there, and
so who was he up against? Some shit stain from the Maple Leafs? Is that what it was? Or probably against McDavid. Connor McDavid, who's not in the finals, right? And who else?
I don't remember who the third one was.
Yeah, exactly. A guy we don't even remember.
But it's easy. Connor McDavid's winning it.
He is a shit stain. I agree with you, Rod.
He is.
I agree. He is a blowhard.
Gary Gohart.
Hey, as the Oilers, they've got knocked out the last two seasons by teams that have made the Stanley Cup final. So we can't knock where they are.
Well, it's called, if you get knocked out by teams that make the Stanley Cup finals, that makes you a team that's not in the Stanley Cup.
One notch lower than the team.
Well,
so when they
meet before the season, when they all get together, they say the goal is we don't want to win the cup.
We want to be the team. We want to be the team.
That's not what they do.
Because this we can do. This is a realistic expectation.
I mean, if that's the
you're talking about the Leafs, though. The Leafs are like, we made round 1. That's it. They took it off. We're like, woo! We
but if the Leafs get swept out in the first round, no one's surprised, right? I mean, that's kind of like what you signed up for.
But if that's the measuring stick that we're using, the Leafs have lost to the team that's made it to the Stanley Cup final from the East 3 years in a row. So
3 years in a row, yeah.
Meaning it wasn't them 3 years in a row that made it.
Exactly. Well,
so that's really what that means.
It hasn't been them in the Cup.
It's kind of like Bull Durham, right? It's kind of like Crash Davis's home run record for the minor leagues. It's like,
and the Rockies bullpen.
Oh, the Rockies bullpen is they actually eat shit. I mean, we discussed this already at length,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and what did they do yesterday? They had a whole big pile. They had a whole big pile of it.
Yeah.
That wasn't a pie eating contest we were watching.
You could feel it coming too. It's like, here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh God! In game, everything. It was just.
They're about to serve it up.
It's called all in on the in game, right? The same thing. Like I lost that Mets game against the Braves. Same thing. I mean, I knew I was dead, man. You know, I knew I was dead. 10-6.
You just see it.
The only thing that surprised me is that I didn't lose that White Sox game. They had the 1-run lead in the 8th inning, 2 outs. Like, oh man, I'm just dead. I said to my wife, "Oh man, I got this one." She's like, "Yeah, right." Anyways, got a full schedule today. We've got Major League Baseball, 15 games, and we've got other stuff too. Got NBA action. So Connor McDavid wins the MVP, right? If he wins,
I don't think it's an if. That's about it. He'll win it, hands down. There's no one.
Isn't that more embarrassing than anything? It's like that he's such this great player, but you can't get him over the hump. He can't get him there. Can't carry him.
It's another trophy to put in the case. That's not what he wants. Not at this point in his career.
Well, that's what he's getting because they're playing for second place in the West.
Because these trophies are given based off of your regular season record.
Does he also get a participation trophy for the regular season effort?
No, Kachuk will get one. They'll give him a participation trophy because McDavid will actually get the trophy, so they'll send them.
No, actually, he might actually get the real trophy. Right? It's 2-1. They're in it. Right? He actually has a chance at the real trophy.
No, it's McDavid. McDavid will win it.
No, the real trophy in hockey is the Stanley Cup.
Oh, yeah.
There's no other trophy that matters. There's no other trophy that matters in the NHL.
No.
All that other stuff is just bullshit. Nobody cares.
Achievements.
Nobody cares. Chris can't even name the third guy that's nominated for the MVP of the NHL, and he's my hockey guy. He's half of the puck dogs.
NHL.
He's half of the puck dogs, and I mean, I don't know exactly who's the bigger half of the puck dogs, but let's just say he's a substantial piece.
It's just the award show that it's top.
How many pounds of puck dogs do we have over here, do you think?
I don't know.
We in 4 digits?
Part of an offensive line over here is what we got over here.
We're not in 4 digits worth of puck dog over here?
No.
No?
No.
All right.
The puck dogs are shrinking.
Shrinking puck dogs.
They're shrinking. They're shrinking puck dogs.
Donde están los puck dogs?
This thing is, come on now. It's like I bought this shirt because it was now it's getting kind of. You can almost wear it as a muumuu.
All right. Speaking of muumuus, Tigers against the Diamondbacks. Got a 6:40 start in this one. It is going to be Michael Lorenzen and Merrill Kelly. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going with the under in this one. Merrill Kelly, he's supposed to start on the road yesterday, but still like him in this road spot, a 1.64 road ERA. And Michael Lorenzen pitching a lot better than I probably would have given him credit for in past seasons. 1 earned run or less allowed in 5 of his last 6 starts. I think this has the makings of an under-the-radar pitcher's duel, so give me the under 8 runs.
Yeah, lame ass. Under. Yeah, well, Rod?
Pretty sure.
I'm going to go with Detroit. You look at Arizona, and sure, they've been playing great and rolling right along, but I think that day off and the cancellation game yesterday hurt them. You look, the Diamondbacks following a day off, 3-9 in their last 12 following a day off. And Detroit at home, 7-1 in their last interleague home games. They're also 6-0 in their last 6 interleague home games versus a right-handed starter. So I'm going to take the plus money with Detroit here to end Arizona's losing streak.
Kind of on the fence. I'm on the fence on this thing. I could make an argument either way. Of course, Merrill Kelly, even though he didn't pitch yesterday, still reminds me of Emmett Kelly, the clown. And Michael Lorenzen's actually been a lot better than what we've the treatment he's gotten from me over the last 6 or 7 years. So he's pitched really well. I just think that the Diamondbacks right now are just rolling, and I just don't want to step in front of it. I think, like I said, I think Lorenzen's pitched well. I think this game is probably an under, but I'll rather than give out a total that nobody cares about, I'll roll with the D-backs here in this one. Now we got a battle of the two best teams in baseball. It's the Rays and the Rangers. Rod, what do you think?
And for me in this one, you know what? I'm going to go with the Rays here at home. 29-6 at home. It's where they've been playing their the best ball of this season. I think it doesn't change. Look at Tyler Glass now. His first start of the year was a little bit rough. He bounced back, got a win in the next start, and I think he just improves. He was moving along three starts, and you know, Andrew Heaney, he's definitely been rolling along, but I think this is a spot where he's due for laying an egg. So I'm going to fade Andrew Heaney and the Texas Rangers and go with the Rays at home in this one, snag a win.
It's weird because both these teams have the same weakness, and that's bullpen, you know? And it's so weird because, you know, every team has a good closer and setup man, but with starters only going, you know, 5 or 6 innings in today's baseball, that guy that pitches the 6th and 7th inning, these guys are the ones that are deciding the games. And that's where both these teams are weak. And it's like, man, maybe those guys all of a sudden become maybe higher in the pecking order, you know, and maybe there is a place for some of these guys. And maybe that's where both, you know, maybe that's where Heaney should be pitching anyway. But the thing is that, you know, Glasnow has not been good since coming back from the injured list. He pissed and moaned about the getting rid of the sticky stuff, and that's how long he's been out. We haven't talked sticky stuff, you know, in a few years at this point. And that's the last we heard of Glasnow, and now he can complain about the pitch clock and everything else. I mean, the game is basically, if you were out the last 2 seasons, the game has passed you by. There's been so many changes in Major League Baseball over that span. How could you possibly keep up with it? Meanwhile, Andrew Heaney's just a stiff from way back. What a piece of garbage this guy is. Almost screwed me last time, but Bochy had the quick hook and took him out in the 4th inning last time. Didn't wait around to get bludgeoned and ended up doing the right thing. I'm going to take the Rangers here on the road, getting plus money. I think this game's a coin flip, so the plus money is where the value is. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rangers as well. You know, Tyler Glasnow, you know, I think he's still getting acclimated to being back on the mound consistently. He's probably going to be a 5-inning guy for the next couple starts. Like you said, if you got to hand the ball over to one of the shakier bullpens in baseball, I think that all the value's on Texas here. So I'll take the Texas Rangers as well. They're playing 14-4 in their last 18 games. Yeah, give me the Texas Rangers and the plus money.
All right, we move on. It is the Orioles and the Royals. Tyler Wells up against Daniel Lynch. The Orioles salvaging a win in Milwaukee. First win in Milwaukee since 2017. Of course, they don't play there every single year, so those are the overrated stats. Kind of like when Bittler used to say, well, they haven't beaten Oklahoma State since 1955, or in the last 6, he would say like in the last 6 meetings, and you look back and it's like the last meeting was 1955, like between these two teams, like there's any kind of relevance between that. But I just think that, you know, the Orioles are a better team than what we've seen, and, you know, this is how good they've been this year. They had that horrible road trip. They had that horrible trip to Milwaukee. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games, and they're in second place in the toughest division in baseball. That's how good they've been. Up against Daniel Lynch. I think you guys know where I'm at in this one. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Orioles, but I'm on the over here. Wells gave up 3 home runs in his lone start against the Royals. I don't expect that same kind of production again, but I still think, you know, the Royals can maybe get 2 or 3 runs off him, and I do think the Orioles have a field day on Daniel Lynch, gets 6 or 7 here. So I'm gonna take the over 8 with lean towards Baltimore.
Every time you say field day, does it kind of bring up your memories of your shot putting days?
Take me back. Those were the days.
Does it make you want to just go out in the backyard and throw the shot around?
Yeah, a little bit.
Put the shot, as they say.
Yeah, make sure the dogs are in the house. But yeah, definitely.
Put the shot out there.
My dog would try to chase the ball. He'd be like, I get it. I can get the shot put.
Rod, what do you think of this beauty?
This gem, I'm going to go with the Orioles here. I'm not even going to overthink it. But I don't think either of these stars equate to who gets the win. And We know what the Royals bullpen, speaking of bad bullpens, is like. So even after Daniel Lynch, yikes, it won't be good there either. So I'm going to take the Orioles on the run line. I think they beat up on the Royals in this one.
Yeah, whenever I run into members of our Pick Dogs community out around there, I always say, man, Rod's just overthinking. He's always thinking.
Always.
Overthinking. He's thinking, and then he's overthinking.
Sometimes, yes.
Thinking, overthinking. All right. We're going to move on to our next game. That is where am I? So it is this is not it.
Boston and the Yankees.
Boston and the Yankees. Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Yankees here. 8-0 in Cole's home starts this year. 8-2 against the Red Sox. The Yankees are in Cole's 10 starts since Cole came to New York, and I'm just excuse me, I'm not a fan of the Red Sox and Garrett Whitlock. So give me the Yankees here.
Rod?
I lean to the Yankees to get the win. You look at Cole 9-0 on Fridays, so definitely lean to the Yankees in that one. But I like the over as the better play when these two teams get together. Definitely bring your glove to the ballpark. 6-1 the last 7 meetings in New York to the over. 11-5 the last 16 to the over. Definitely runs are coming in this one. I think we easily get to over 10. Double-digit runs here. Take the over.
What do you think the relevance is of the Friday thing? Like, do you think he eats like I know like every Thursday I eat turkey burgers, right? So people want to know why are and might not the same? It's because we mixed up the potato, of course, on the turkey burgers. We do certain things different times. Sometimes we go with like a home fry type thing. Sometimes it's French fries. Sometimes it's even a potato knish. Whatever the case may be, we mix it up. It's like we've been having turkey burgers for my wife and I over almost 23 years. It's a lot of turkey burgers. It's a lot of Thursdays. Why do you think that Fridays, in Garrett Cole, do you think it's like, I don't know, he always eats at Arby's on Fridays or something?
Something. You could have a whatever it is on that Friday. He just gets so excited. Maybe he gets a bonus and he gets the whole weekend off and he can go party and have a few drinks if he wins his game on Friday. I don't know. It's whatever it is on the Friday. He's won 9 straight.
But how many Fridays? So how many times has his turn in the rotation fallen on a Friday, like in the past 2 years?
Right.
But how many in the last 2 years? Because it's a Friday stat, so it's like it's just. I mean, the chances are, it's we all know how the rotation works. So it's like, how often does he actually land on that Friday?
A few times a year.
No, we're not. You can't guess. There's a firm number here. It's like I don't know, a few times a year. I mean, if you're gonna throw out a Friday trend on us, you're gonna have to dig a little deeper than this. I mean,
it's gonna take me more than 30 seconds on this game to dig a little deeper for the.
Garrett Cole's 9-0 when using Polynesian dipping sauce on his McNuggets at Chick-fil-A. It's like, I mean. I don't know, man. I need answers. I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Oh, I can handle the truth. If there's anyone out here who can handle the truth, it's me. Go ask some of my competitors if I can handle the truth or not.
Yeah, I know.
I'm taking the Yankees. Not looking back. I don't care what Cole pitches on Fridays or Wednesdays, whatever. The Red Sox are in a regression mode. They're the only team in the American League East team now with a losing record. So they fought the good fight. I think they've run out of gas a little bit here. I think the Yankees don't have Aaron Judge, but I mean, do you think like most other baseball teams out there, if you said, well, my slugger is Giancarlo Stanton, they'd be okay with that? It's like the Yankees just crying a river over Aaron Judge. It's like, oh, my slugger is Giancarlo Stanton. He only makes $40 million a year. It's like, I mean, How pathetic does this get? I mean, the Yankee fans are, I mean, come on, guys. You know? Seriously. I'm embarrassed for you. There, I said it. I said it. That's what I do. I want that. There's the truth for you, Rod. I can handle the truth. We got the Pirates and the Mets, Rod. Rich Hill and Tyler McGill, two guys you're big fans of.
Definitely big fans of. I'm going to just keep fading the Mets. They've been awful. 15-21 on the road. And Rich Hill definitely having a solid season. You can't complain what he's done. You expect him to drop a few, and he bounced back last time out against the Cardinals. And I think he continues rolling right along. Whatever it is, they get up for him when he's pitching. So I think the Pirates here. Complete fate of the Mets.
Chris?
Speaking of bad bullpens.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the excuse me, and take the over between the Pirates and the Mets. These are two pitchers I don't think factor into the decision at all. Tyler McGill, a 6+ ERA on the road. Rich Hill, 5+ ERA at home. So give me the over 9. I think we get well into double digits in this game.
I'm going to go with the Pirates in this one. I'm going to agree with Rod. I think Rich Hill's the way better option. Tyler McGill's a stiff, and the Mets are losers. Underachieving, nobody's. I mean, sometimes you just have to look at the two teams and just, if you take away the names of the teams and you look at the two records and everything else, the Pirates are the better team. I mean, this really is not that hard. Why make it so difficult, Chris? Why do you have to do that? You always have to make everything a lot harder than it really is.
That's what I do.
Speaking of harder than it really is, Ranger Suarez is pitching in Philly against the Dodgers. Michael Grove. Rod, I mean, we have to pick somebody here.
I got to pick somebody here, and I like the over. I'm going to take the over 9.5. And this one, Michael Grove's awful. Ranger Suarez definitely going to give up some runs as well. And then when you throw it to the bullpen, Dodgers bullpen hasn't been greatest lately either. They've given up lots of runs late. So if I had to take a side, I think I would. I'd take the Dodgers in that one. They just get the better
making
option.
you have if I have to take a side, well, it's kind of the show. Making a pick on the game. I mean, we've been through this with Ruffalo before. Ruffalo Day. We have the whole thing, but making a pick it's kind of the show. It's kind of the premise of the show.
Correct. So, as I said, if I have to take a side, I'll take the Dodgers. But I like the over as the better play. Both these teams going to give up lots of runs today.
What's the record on Fridays? What's Suarez's record on Fridays?
On Fridays? It is not good.
Well, my guess. Any idea what he eats his pregame meal is on Fridays? Chris, what's your guess for Ranger Suarez's pregame meal for Fridays? Can really get into some trouble here. I don't know what it is, but something with platanos.
I was going to say pasta. He's got to carb up like I do before the shot put.
Corn platanos.
By the way, Garrett Colson said the start of 2021 season, 12 starts on Fridays.
Well, there you have it.
So, of the, 60-something starts he's made, 12 of them have been on Fridays.
That's 1/5. Which is weird because there's 7 days in a week. He starts every 5 days. So, and 1/5 of his starts. So you would think it would be 1/7 of his starts. But it's actually 1/5.
Let's see. In the last 3 seasons, this year included, he's made, I lied, 76 starts. So yeah, so we're almost at one every 7 days.
It's weird. It's like I start doing math and I'm confusing myself. It's like, it's like I've confused myself now. But that really is what it should be. Suarez. I like the Dodgers in this one. I am a Philly fader and hater. I think that overrated trash, and I'm not going to stand for it any longer. I'm going to make a stand. Oh, I made that stand a few times. Yeah. I'm done with the Phillies. I've never been on them to be done with them. But yeah, I think you look at these two teams, and the Dodgers are the way better team. I think it's gonna be really interesting. Are the Dodgers gonna be buyers or sellers at the trade deadline? If they're like close, are they gonna be buyers, or are they gonna unload some of the last of the big things? Like, is Mookie Betts available? I'll have to ask Minty.
No, I think they'll be. I think they'll be buyers.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think the Dodgers.
Then why weren't they buyers in the offseason?
I think they were just happy with what they had.
They're happy with what they had.
They kept it in house. They kept the core together. They kept Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts,
Seager, Turner.
Yeah. Well, Trey Turner was always going to go. I think. You want
so like money. if you let Trey Turner go and then you want to go get some free agency somewhere, you're going to get better than that.
I just don't think they wanted to pay him what he wanted.
Well, what do they want to pay him?
Well, what was the contract he got? He got something like 30-something million, didn't he?
I don't know.
I think they wanted to pay him like 25, closer to what he was getting before.
But what are they going to end up having to pay to get some guy from at the trade deadline? You know?
Yeah. I mean, they already raided the farm system when they. I don't remember who else they traded for, but.
Well, Max Scherzer they traded for. They traded for Turner. I mean, these are the guys that they unloaded the farm system for. They don't have either of those guys to show for it.
Yeah.
I don't know, Chris. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think so. But I think they will be buyers.
I think they're going to be sellers. I predict sellers.
Can maybe sell Noah Syndergaard.
I don't think there'll be any takers for Syndergaard, but they've moved him to the they've moved him to middle relief.
Yeah.
But I don't think there'll be takers for Syndergaard, but I do believe that there'll be takers for Mookie Betts. How about Freddie Freeman goes back to the Braves? Ron Romanelli.
That makes sense.
When his speed continues to decline, his whiff and chase rate continue to rise. Who asked you? Well, he's on a below-average team. You know, the thing about the Phillies that the problem is when you have a team like the Phillies and you have all these high-priced guys, right? Everybody makes a ton of money on that team. That's an offensive player, right? The catcher makes a ton of money. Bryce Harper makes a ton of money. Schwarber makes a ton of money. Castellanos makes a ton of money. Real Muto, right? That's the guy. He makes a ton. You know, Trey Turner makes a ton. 5 guys that make a ton of money. Ton. Not once has 2 of those guys been able to carry the team. Like 2 guys get, at least all it takes is for 2 of them to get hot to kind of carry them through. And then if 4 of the 5 can get hot, you know, then they're going to bust some people up. But they can't do that. You know why? They never listen to me. They never listen, man. They never listen to me. Home run props. Chris, you got a home run prop for that one?
Yeah, Mookie Betts.
Phillies. I like Mookie Betts. I like that one too. I like Freddie Freeman also. Anyone against Suarez. I'll take the catalog.
I'll take all of the above.
Speaking of catalog, you got the Blue Jays and the Twins. Who's up? I think it's Rod.
For me, in this one, and the Blue Jays and the Twins, you know what? I'm going to go with the Blue Jays here at home, rolling right along. 8-2 in their last 10, and the reason why they are 8-2 in their last 10 is their bullpen's definitely come to play. So I think Kikuchi has a nice solid outing. I think Sonny Gray has a solid outing as well for the Twins. So nice low scoring first five, and then when it throws to the bullpen, Toronto with a better bullpen, and they snag the win there. So I'm gonna go with the Jays, who are playing the better baseball right now. So give me the Jays.
I say this with all sincerity. I'll say, Brady, you're a piece of crap after last night. The hell was that? I got the Astros. First and second, nobody out. 8th inning, down by a run. You get picked off second base. I mean, you're basically standing next to the shortstop. What are you doing?
Kill me too.
I don't even understand what he was doing out there. I mean, it wasn't like he was just leaning, right? I mean, he was clearly way off the base. It's like
way off.
It's when the catcher had the ball. I mean, he looked over in disbelief. You know, like, what are you doing? And then he just threw the ball there. It was like there wasn't like I don't know, man. I like the Twins in this one, Sonny Gray. First five.
I'm going to take the Blue Jays. Twins been middle of the road against lefties in the last couple of weeks in team OPS. The Blue Jays, one of the best teams against righties. They're just a hotter team right now. 8-2 last 10, 10-3 in their last 13. So give me the Blue Jays. Reasonable price.
Up next. I like returning to this old format. It takes forever, but who cares? I got nothing else to do. I got no life. What the hell's the difference? Got the Guardians and the Astros. It's Logan Allen against Christian Javier. I like the Astros in this one. Javier's, he's one of those guys that's just. I think the Astros. It's been a rough road trip, but it's not like they've been playing against the drag teams. They struggled there in Toronto, and I thought, it was the thing about those games in Toronto the last two nights. They were in both of them, 3-2, both of them, identical scores. They were in it. So last night, I believe it was the first inning. They got the bases loaded with nobody out.
Yep.
1 run in. And they only score 2 runs. And that was the only runs they scored in the entire game. They hit into a double play there. It was the same guy who whiffed later in the game. Screwed us there, too, in that Abreu situation. Same guy.
Yep. I seen him come up and was like, oh, man.
I don't remember his name, but we'll just call him Dumbass for short. for our purposes today.
I called him Big Whip.
Yeah, what was that? No one ever accuses me of not watching the games, only that I don't know what I'm talking about. I like the Astros in this one. I think Javier can bear down. I like the way the Guardians are playing too. I won money on them yesterday, so but I don't think they get done. Logan Allen's pitched well. This is actually a good game. This is as solid under as it gets. So I like the under, but I can't give it out because I would take away my material I get from mocking Ruffalo. Based on that criteria alone, I'm going to take the Astros.
I'll take the Astros as well. Javier, 5 straight wins, 4 straight starts where he's allowed 1 run. And look at the 2 starts he's had against Cleveland last year when Cleveland was a much better offensive team. Gave up just 1 run combined in those 2 starts. I just don't think Logan Allen's going to be able to match zeros with Javier. And the Astros, for me, have the more trustworthy offense. So give me the Astros on the money line.
If anyone knows about matching zeros, it's Ruffalo. Rod.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with the Astros here in this one. Pitchers duel early, so definitely take the first 5 under. And but definitely got to go with the Astros. Look at what they've done in the last 10 games hitting lefties. They're bad 377 against the lefties over their last 10 games. So I'm going to go with the Astros to bounce back. Everybody's seen what Cleveland's done those last few days, and they'll be all humping Cleveland, going, "Yeah, look at the Guardians. Yeah, look at the Astros got beat by the Jays." So take the Astros in this one. Big bounce back. Solid team in the bounce back.
Got the Braves and the Nationals. It's AJ Smith Shaver. I think it's Schauer. I I saw him pitch the last time he pitched. It was freaking unbelievable. Up against Josiah Gray, who Romanelli will claim has regressing numbers, but I believe he's actually playing the best baseball of his career. But this Smith Shaver, whatever his name is for the Braves, this guy I believe is the youngest guy in the major leagues. This guy is really, really, really good. I mean, he is. It's like once in a while you see these guys come out there, pitch middle relief or whatever the hell he pitched, and you're just like, this guy is really, really good. He went into the dugout. It was his first major league appearance. He went into the dugout, man, and after he was done with his 2 innings that he pitched or whatever it was, he might have been 3. Whatever it
2.1.
was that he pitched. How many did he pitch?
2 and a third.
2.1.
2.1. I'll tell you what, he went into the dugout after that 2.1 innings pitched, and everybody was patting him on the back like, wow, This guy has wow stuff. He is really, really, really good. I don't know if he can extend it over the course of a game or anything like that, but this guy he's a superstar in the making. I'll just crown him a superstar now. We'll jinx him. We'll take him down the same way we did Kirby. We'll take him down to Kirby Town. Chris, this is your game. I just ball hogged you out there.
That's all right. I'm gonna take the Nationals plus 1.5. The Nationals. Josiah Gray usually does a good job keeping the Nationals in the game. In his 5 career starts against the Braves, the Nationals have actually won 3 of them. So I think Gray can do a good job keeping him in this one. He's usually better at night. He's usually better on the road as well. So give me the Nationals plus 1.5. It was a 1-run game.
Rod?
And for me, I'm going to take the Braves on the run line. I think they kicked the snot out of the Nationals in this one. I also like Ozzie Albies to hit a home run.
Well, I'll tell you what. I bet against the Braves twice this week. One was the Zach Gallen game, and the other one was yesterday. And both those games, I got roasted by late inning home runs that were no doubt bombs. Not going down that road again. And I think that Smith Shaw or whatever, I think he wins the first 5 too. I'm going to take the Braves, and more Braves. I'm going to lay the run line here and everything else because I'll tell you what, man, the ball is flying out of the park when these guys hit it. I mean, it's not just, is it going to be a home run, like clear the fence? I mean, that Arcia home run last night, jeez, my gosh. Even the people that took the 1.5 got crushed on that one. That's how bad that thing was. It's like, let's walk this guy. Let's walk Riley. Let's walk this guy. It's like, it really doesn't matter when you give up 540-foot home runs.
Right. Braves looking good.
Got the White Sox against the Marlins. The White Sox split yesterday in the Bronx. The Marlins are just freaking rolling. Second place in the National League East. Making it look easy out there. It's kind of like the Mike Leach fat little girlfriend speech. Everyone tell them how great they are, how easy it's going to be. Defies all logic when it comes to winning games. Who's up? Me? Rod? I think it's Rod.
Chris? Is it Chris? No.
Oh, Chris went
Didn't
low.
you run her over
Chris
the
did
last
game.
For me, in this one, I'm gonna I lean to the Marlins to keep their winning streak rolling right along, but I like the under as the better play. I think both starters have a great start in this one. Perez and Cease on the mound, and then you throw it the bullpens. Definitely not giving up too much runs there. Enough to get us under the total in this one. Both bullpens, you see the last 10 games. White Sox, 2.06 ERA. Well, the Marlins, reason why they're winning, they're holding teams to 3 ERA in that bullpen. So I like the under in this one. That's the better play. Into the Marlins.
Was that a lame ass total pick or was it a pick on the Marlins? Which one was it? I'm confused.
Both. You can take Marlins on the money line and the under.
Same game parlay?
Same game parlay. Yeah, same game parlay.
Did Robert hit a home run yesterday, Chris?
I don't.
I had him in because the White Sox were hitting home runs like crazy in that first game. He was my pick on the show to homer yesterday.
They got shut out in one of the games. They do it in the first one. Yeah, he homered in the first game.
Yeah, there you go. Anyways, I like the Marlins in this one. I think Dylan Cease's best pitches are behind him for this season. I think Cease saw it. We saw the best of Cease, but now it's time for him to desist. I like the Marlins in this one, and I just like the way they're playing. I think they're playing as a team. They're having fun out there. They don't know they're not supposed to win. I always like that, saying that. Works for me. I've used that one over and over again. No one ever really throws it back in my face. So why not? Chris?
I like the little cease and desist little reference there. I'm going to go with the Marlins as well. I like Yuri Perez. I think this is a great spot for him.
What do you like about him?
Young arm, lot of speed on the fastball, good control. I think he's going to be another one of those great starting pitchers from that Marlins factory. It just keeps churning him out like it's going out of style. But the Marlins 14-2 in their last 16 interleague games. They're just playing far better baseball right now. They're one of the hottest teams in the league. So you can give me the Marlins as well, plus money.
Got the Brewers against the A's. You could gloss over this one if you want. But I'm just going to take the Brewers here. I'm going to lay the run line or the extent. I'll lay 2.5. I'll lay 3.5 runs in this one against the A's. I know the A's are definitely playing better baseball, but the Brewers are too. And Friday night in Milwaukee, I mean, this is how Schlitz got invented. I'm going to take the Brewers. I mean, it's always a beer fest on Friday night in Milwaukee. I think it'd be more fun to handicap the sausage race. I like that. Don't take the Polish. Doesn't get it on. Never wins.
The Polish. I'm gonna take the Brewers on the run line as well.
Wasn't it like Teddy Roosevelt in the president's race in Washington? They just got smoked for like 9 years in a row or something.
The best is when they all fall over.
Yeah, we're easily entertained over here.
Yeah, seriously, when the sausage falls over. Yeah, give me the Brewers on the run line too.
It's kind of like when the cow bear beat up the pine tree.
Our mascot fights.
Mascot fights are the best.
Come on. That should be a new thing. Mascot fights coming soon to a ballpark near you.
Yeah, give me the Brewers on the run line too. Luis Medina stinks, and Adrian
Oh, I'll
Hazard
take
had
an
that one.
extended run line. I'm not on the run line. I'm extended. I'm minus 3.5.
I'll just take the 1.5. But
That doesn't
yeah,
get you anywhere. That and a token will get you on the subway.
that's okay. Um, I'm just Luis Medina stinks, and Adrian Hazard had that one rough outing against Toronto, but outside of that, he's been pretty good over the last 3 weeks. So give me Adrian Hazard and the Brewers on the run line.
Right?
And in this one, you know what? I'm going to take a lame total. I'm going to take the under in this one. You look at the head to head, and that lame total is 10-1 to the under in their last 11 meetings, including the last nine straight to the under. So even with these bad, awful pitchers, you think you're going to get tons of runs? Nah, I'm going to take the under here.
We're getting plus 202 on our money at minus 3.5. It's Friday night in Milwaukee. Grab a Schlitz and watch the game with me.
6-1.
It's going to be something like that. Cardinals and the Reds, Chris. Cardinals suck, man. Go ahead. Take a pick at it. It's Jordan Montgomery, overrated crap. Other than that, tell me who you like.
You want to give me plus 155 with the Cincinnati team that's second in baseball and team OPS against lefties in the last 2 weeks against the Cardinals team that's got Jordan Montgomery pitching. They haven't won any of Montgomery's last 10 starts. So
yeah, this guy sucks. I mean, he sucks.
Almost 2 months to the day that the last time the Cardinals won a Montgomery start. So
yeah, because he had Yadi Molina behind the plate last year. All of a sudden he comes over to the Cardinals. All of a sudden he's really good. No Yadi, no dice. This guy, man.
Yeah, I'm not a big Ben Lively fan, but I can't pass up on this. Plus, I think there's a stigma with the Reds and like how much losing they've done in the last couple of years. But this isn't a bad team. Only 5 games below 500. So,
but actually, the Cardinals at 5th place in the Central are just as close as Connor McDavid to winning the Stanley Cup.
It's the random digs that come out of nowhere that are the sharpest. You can get hit at any time. You're never safe.
That's what I do. Cheap shots, name calling, bashing the competition.
And I agree, take the Reds. Ben Lively on the road. He has been lively. Pitching real well. 1-1 with a 1.12 ERA.
That was weak. And, that was Rod.
0.88.
That was not good. That was a bad.
What?
What did you think of that one, Chris?
I didn't mind it.
Ben Lively's been lively.
He's been lively on the road.
You just he's Ben Lively on the road.
It's like, I feel like I'm going to a senior citizens dance. So lively.
Definitely lively on the road.
That's where this is best on the road. Back at the hotel with the groupies.
He goes up to someone in a bar. I'm a pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, right?
Lively with the ladies back at the hotel bar.
Oh man!
Take us over 4.5 strikeouts too. He's hit the last three games.
I like the Reds in this one. Everyone knows I hate the Cardinals. I think they're majorly disappointed. I think Jordan Montgomery, after last year's hype fest, couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I take the Reds here, big. I'm going to go reverse run line, actually. Take the Reds on the reverse run line. Oh, boy. All right. I guess we got to do it. Rockies against the Padres. Rod, this one's yours. You get first dibs at this thing. It's Austin Gomber's pitch.
Yeah, Austin Gomber's pitching. Yikes. So I have no choice. I'm going to take the Padres here. Take them on the run line. They're actually 17-12 to that run line on the road this season. And,
yeah, but isn't it like minus a zillion like on the run line? It's like I can't bet that.
But it's not a
I
silly
can't
industry, in
lay.
my
I
opinion. It's
can't
fun.
lay odds and runs. I can't do. It's one or the other. I can't do both. It's outside of my strategy. If I'm going to lay runs, I have to lay enough that's going to give me positive return. Because my strategy is I win 50% of the time. And I'm going to post a positive return. So if I'm laying odds and runs, when you're laying those runs, like people will say, oh, the runs make the odds less, right? That you have to lay. But that doesn't make those less odds free. You're paying for those in the form of, Chris, fill in the blank, runs. That's not cheap money. That's expensive money. Lay the runs. Lay the alternative. Treat yourself. Try it, man. Try something different. Lay extra runs. And go on Twitter and call yourself a hero. That's what you do. Chris will show you. Chris will show you. He's all over Pinterest.
Look, okay. The fact that I have your do not talk about my Pinterest, okay? We said we were going to leave Pinterest out of this.
I mean, let's look at this Padres line. Minus
I thought you were
one
going to
and a
say,
half.
let's look at my Pinterest.
Minus 1.5 on the Padres. Minus 1.5 on the Padres. You're minus 128. You're laying runs and odds. It doesn't make any sense. You got to have one or the other. So at -2, if you go -2, and the Ninos number, which is dead money, right? That's scared money. You're at minus 102. But at minus 2.5, which could easily happen in an inning against that bullpen, is you're at plus 121 already. So why wouldn't you just lay the extra run? If you're laying 1.5 anyway. You're only laying one more against that bullpen and Austin Gomber leading the charge. You're at plus money now. On a team that should belt them by 7 runs, man. The Padres should win this game by 7. Right? You got Garbage going up against Austin Gomber. If this game was in San Diego, the Padres are still 4 runs better. But it's like in Coors, where Tatis, I mean, this guy's really hitting home runs now, right? I mean, long ones. I don't know. You tell me. Well, you already told me, and I'm very much disappointed in your decision. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
We've seen with Austin Gomber. We've seen them face Austin Gomber already this season. And you know what the final score in that game was? 3-1. So if you put the 2.5, you would have lost.
Where was it at?
San Diego.
It was in San Diego.
Right. So 2 runs in San Diego is 4 runs at Coors. Everybody knows that, Rod. This is Coors 101.
So the 2 trips for the Padres into Coors this year, they scored a margin of 3 runs. That's the scary part. The proposition is that this Padres team can all of a sudden runs dry up in a heartbeat. We've seen them this season. All of a sudden they can be like, "Oh, look, we scored 1." So definitely not a game that I am rushing to the window to bet. I am going to stay far clear for this one.
I'm rushing to the window. I'm going to lay those. I'm laying those extra runs, man.
Okay, you lay the extra. I'll cheer for you.
I'm laying extra just for that, man. I'm looking at the 3.5. I'm getting 181 on my money at that, and at 4.5, which I may just put in for a taste, plus 267 on my money in a game that figures to be a rout.
Yeah. I like that guy. Says the Padres will score 2, and they'll leave 7 guys on base. Padres are burning. I say that. You're not doing it.
Chris, did you give an opinion on this shit show or not?
I'm still trying to figure out.
He was like, "Oh, what? I thought you were going to."
I mean, nobody here has made a case for the Rockies. That's for damn sure. You know.
I think the only case that you can make for the Rockies is that they've won 7 of 8 of Gomber's last 8 starts. But I mean, look at some of the teams they played. They played the Mets with Tyler McGill, the Reds with Graham Ashcraft, uh, the Diamondbacks with Ryan Nelson. So I'll take the Padres minus the 2.5, and I'll lean towards the over as well. I think it's a higher scoring game. I think Gomber gets his butt kicked, but
way to suck it up, Chris. We appreciate it.
But the two games that Darvish won,
like
Colorado
I'm just
not
up. I'm not up for the
the
like,
two games that Darvish won.
Lay the 2.5.
I'm just gonna agree. It's easier. I'm gonna take the easy road and go this way.
He's like, I can't get to 3.5, but at 2.5, I'm okay.
Happy wife, happy life. No, but the two games that Darvish won last year against Colorado, 12-5 and 9-3. So I think there's runs, but I think the Padres probably win comfortably too.
They win by a lot. They're going to win by a lot. All right. Padres are going to win. I never take the Padres, but they're going to win by a lot. Angels against the Mariners. It's Shohei Ohtani night versus Luis Castillo. I think Ohtani's going to get traded before the trade deadline. I do. I think he's going to the Giants. I'm gonna take them. So here's the scenario on this one, right? Let me put this in the. I gotta put this in the. What do you call it again? The timestamps, whatever. So else everyone starts crying like little babies. So let me make sure I put these in. This is the. Yeah, we're running a little over today. It happens. Would you rather be the Mariners at right around 500 or the Angels at 4 games over 500? I think I would rather be the Mariners here in this case because I think that both these teams probably are not going to finish in first or second in the division, right? I would doubt it. Last year the Mariners finished second and they made the postseason. They might not make the postseason this year. I mean, I would say if you look at the big picture and the way things are starting to shake out, I would say the Mariners are not going to make the postseason this year. But I believe they take that small step back after making the postseason last year, and this is a team that's going to be very good for a very long time. You got Castillo, you got Kirby, you got Wu, right? These are 3 good pitchers, really good pitchers. And the latter 2 just need a little bit of time to develop. You have a batting order with, Rodriguez, you got France, you need some help in the lineup. Over the next year, they can get that help and they can kind of fix this thing. And Gilbert, right? I mean, look at this staff that they're putting in. Young guys, good guys. They're taking a step back here. They're probably not going to be a postseason team. So the Rangers are the team that is kind of the squeezer, right? They're squeezing everybody out because they were a team that weren't in the postseason last year that look at this point to be a lock. Whether they win the division or a wild card, either way, they look to be a lock to be in the postseason. And the Astros, well, they're probably a lock too to make the postseason. Because McCullers Jr. still isn't even back for the Astros, right? So that's going to shore up the rotation and make them even better. And they have some good young guns in there too, Hunter Brown and France, and so they have some good guys too. When they get McCullers back, that's going to put Javier and Framber in the right spot in the rotation. They're going to be very, very tough. And then you have in the American League East the Rays, the Yankees, the Blue Jays, and the Orioles, right? So you have 3 teams there, plus the winner, that all are going to be really fighting tooth and nail for those wild card spots with the Astros or Rangers, whoever doesn't win that division. It's going to be a very tough nut to crack here for the Mariners to get through all that traffic of those really, really good teams. But I would still rather be them than the Angels, who have this giant payroll guys and they're still going nowhere, and the future looks bleaker than the present. There's my 2 cents. Taking the Mariners in this game on principle alone. Chris?
Here's my last lame ass total of the day. I'm going to take the under between the Mariners and the Angels. This to me just shapes up like a pitcher's duel. Well, as long as the Crickets are cashing a winner, that's all I care about, and that's why I'm going to go with the under
As
here.
long as those Crickets are cash.
Gotta stand up. I gotta
You
stand up for
sound like the
myself
guys
somewhere.
whose chops I bust when they're taking minus 265 favorites. I mean, that's exactly the same response that I get.
That's the first time I've ever used that response. Leave me alone. um, I like the under here. To me, it just shapes up to be a pitcher's duel. I think Castillo and Otani both go 7 innings. I think it's the first to 3 wins this game. So give me the under.
Rod,
And for me in this one, you know, I'm going to go with the Mariners in this one. I know Castillo is 0-5 in his last 5 road starts.
Rod's like, I couldn't get to the 2.5 at Coors, but I can go with the Mariners.
But I can't go with the Mariners here. Why? Because the Mariners off of a day off. They're 8-2 following that off day. And speaking of Friday stats, well, this Angels team, for some reason on Fridays, they don't play so good. 30-61 in their last 91 games on Friday. They're also 1-5 in the last 6 versus the AL West. Give me the Mariners.
All right. Giants against the Cubs. Last one on the board. Chris, it's you.
I'll take the Chicago Cubs here. They burned me yesterday, but Marcus Stroman, has been really, really good in his last 4 starts. And Anthony DeSclafani, while we talk about how DeSclafani normally has a good year and a bad year, and this sets up to be a good year for him, he still has an ERA just under 5 at home this season. So I think the Cubs can bounce back after a rough series in Anaheim and get a win here. So give me the Cubs in this one.
Rod?
And for me, I like the under. So the last game of the night, late game, West Coast. I like the under here. Marcus Stroman has been solid, and DeSclafani, another solid guy. I think they go 6 or 7 innings, pitcher's duel. And now that it's up to 8, I like the under. Cubs 9-1, the under in their last 10. Giants 5-5, but definitely a pitcher's duel. They go 6-7 innings easily. We get under the total of 8.
I like the Giants in this one. Cubs are really not having a fun trip on this road trip, and if you can't beat the Angels, you're not going to beat the Giants. I think DeSclafani, he's been hit and miss this year, but I think he hits here. I like the way the Giants are playing overall. They look like a playoff team to me. Taking the Giants. We go to the NBA, and it's game 4. Heat taking on the Chicken Nuggets. Rod, let's start with you.
And for me in this one, I'm going to take the Heat plus points. I know they lost last game, but it just didn't look so good and missed some shots here or there. And we're any close. I think they keep it closer there. Give me the Heat plus the points in this one. I think it comes down to who's got the ball last. So definitely want those points in my pocket.
I'm gonna roll with the Heat. I'm gonna take the alternate line on this thing. I love alternate lines, and I think this one sets up for it. As a Heat fan, I've been kind of maybe a little over optimistic on it. I think that the Heat have made things tough on themselves this season. I think we saw early in Game 3 that the writing was probably on the wall that they might be in trouble in there. I think when the Heat miss free throws, when the key players like Butler and Bam miss free throws in the first half, in those games the Heat have been dead. And it's just a kind of like I know it's just 1 point and whatever, but it kind of you can see it, that's probably going to happen that way. So I think in this game, I think Spo makes some more adjustments here against the Nuggets for the style that they came out in Game 3. And when Spo makes the adjustments, the Heat win. He didn't really get a chance to make the adjustments in Game 3. He makes them here. and the Heat win. I think they win comfortably. I think the series might be going 7 games, much to my chagrin. But I think it is going 7. I think it's going to be one of those. I think it's going to go all the way. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Heat and the points as well. And I think if Denver were to win this game, it's going to be one they're going to have to really earn. It's going to come down to the last possession. But I think the Heat win this game. I think they usually bounce back fairly well. They usually don't stay down for very long. And yeah, I think the Heat get the win here. So I'll take the Heat plus the points, put a little bit on the money line too.
All right. Parlay time. Rod, want to kick us off?
Sure. I'm going to go with the Mariners on the money line, the Braves on the run line, and the Reds on the money line.
I'm going to take the Reds on the money line, the Rangers on the money line, and the Marlins on the money line. $10 pays $137.99. Chris?
I'll take the Astros, I'll take the Blue Jays, and I'll take the Cubs.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. See you tomorrow for our big show with all the cappers. I don't know how many people are coming on, but probably be a few.